Hi everybody, Cindy Ellers here from Cindy's Stamping Studio. I'm located in the central part of Wisconsin. I've been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for 15 years, and I'm happy to be here tonight. Had to postpone from Monday night, but there was a really good reason. And so while I wait for everybody to show up on this very mild but windy Tuesday, I am going to get myself set up on my Kindle. Oops. And wait for some people to join me. Today's date is Tuesday, January 13th, 2026. I'm going to get that right yet. Okay, where am I? There we are. Just had to refresh my screen. And yeah, I might be just talking to myself tonight because everybody's used to seeing me on Mondays. And I had to postpone it. It was a good reason. I was asked by Andy if I would come to her basketball game. And being a good, or at least trying to be a good grandma, how could I turn her down? And I'm glad I went. It was fun. She played well, very well. Her and her team, they won their basketball game 54-9. So that was like unbelievable. And I've been going to Andy's basketball games. She's been in basketball probably 4 years, and she's quite petite, so the other girls are a lot taller than her, and so Andy, I think, is self-conscious, so when she accidentally gets the ball, she throws it to somebody else, and it gets really frustrating for us spectators, if you know what I mean. Hi, Karen Halterman. I'm glad you're here. I'm not talking to myself anymore. Yeah, I was just saying, Andy's basketball game went really well, and her team won 54-9. But the best part was, Andy ended up with that basketball in her hands 4 times. I thought, oh yeah, she's going to do what she always does, throw it to somebody else. But she didn't. She tried to make a basket each of those 4 times, and on the 4th time, she did. And it's like, it was funny because her mom was sitting behind me, and then me and her brother, and then Jim, and then her dad. And it was like our own little cheering section, and we just, cheered so loud. And afterwards I said to her, "Did you hear your cheering section?" "Oh yeah." We were a little bit loud. I couldn't believe it. Oh, and Karen, you'd be proud of myself. I wrote myself a note so I would remember to be here also. It's very windy tonight. We've had 2 really mild days, up in the 40s, and it's been great. But now it's going to get cold and very windy tonight. I'm not getting it. Why is it got to be, if it's going to be mild, let's have a really nice mild day. We don't need cold, but oh well. Before we get started, just want to remind everybody the January to April mini catalog is live, along with new online exclusives and new Stampin' Up! Kits. And to maybe incite you more, we have bonus days going on. So for every $75 of Stampin' Up! Product that you purchase, you will get a coupon code that's worth $5. And there's Debbie Vine. I will see Debbie tomorrow night at our technique class, which is tomorrow night. We'll be doing 2-tone stencil, and I can't wait to show them, and then I'll show you next week. We have our kit class coming up the end of the month. I'll show you those cards. Unfortunately, our Packers lost, but if you watched the game, they didn't play very well at all. So they probably didn't deserve to win, but I'm a Packer backer, and there's next year. You know, I'm not going to abandon my team. Hi, Ronnie Kaiser Smith. Hope you had a good week, and do have a good rest of the week. And you too. I know, Karen, you had told me you were going to write yourself a note. So, yeah. And you're welcome for the gems and the pretty card. So let's see what else we have. Oh, I have veteran cards to show you. But before we get to that, let's do our door prizes. And for comments. And I'm not surprised if not a lot of people show up tonight, just because it's on Tuesday and everybody's used to being on Monday. But hopefully they'll come back and watch it later. So for comments, I have these beautiful vanilla and gold gems. I'm going to send these out to Michelle Jones from Wisconsin. So Michelle, these are coming to you. And for these gray granite, pink, and peach gems are going to go to Cheryl Merzinik from California for sharing. So congratulations, ladies. I will send both of these out to you tomorrow. Put them right there. Okay, tonight's featured stamp set is Peaceful Dock. So I'm going to go and flip my camera around because I have so much to show you. So, okay, let's see. Oh, right there. There we go. Oh, that was easy. Usually it's a fight because my holder covers up where... There we go. That doesn't look too bad. I'll push this up. And thank you for sharing, Karen. Yeah, there's just a couple of us tonight, but like I said, you know, I was happy to go to Andy's basketball games, and boy, she was happy to see us. Tonight's set is Peaceful Dock. Now, before I get started, I want to show you this. This is what 62 veteran thank you cards look like. That's what Andy made. I also got this really beautiful card from Denise Weiger. Isn't that pretty? I never thought to use shimmery paper for the flower petals. It's just very pretty. I like it. But here, Denise Weiger from Colorado sent me 12. And I just took out the 12 card, you know, so you get an idea. So isn't that pretty? Look at how that turned out. You know, who would have thought to use that? But that's perfect. These are Denise's cards. Even a birdhouse. Who would have thought? And she has some really cool dies. Whoops. This one goes over here. Got that. This one's a fancy fold, which is cool. And we got a couple more of these. And another birdhouse. So these are Denise's cards. So, yeah, beautiful. And just exactly what I'm looking for. And I know she'll watch later. And I appreciate them so much. Okay. So my little overachiever. I just took out a few of Andy's cards so you could see what they look like. Here's the negative that she used. There's the positive. I got that die last year. And I accidentally gave it to Andy, so I haven't even gotten to use it. And she went and told me last week, she said, I need more cards, Grandma. So I cut her out 70 more card bases. So we'll see if she gets them done. Isn't that pretty? It turned out great. Yeah, I just like how she... And then I had some leftover stars, so she incorporated that into her card. Yeah, we have some very beautiful veterans cards. So, yeah, look at how she did that. And I didn't even have to tell her. So, yeah. These were Andy's cards. The other ones were Denise. And so now we have a grand total. Let's see, where can I put these? I'll put these right back in this basket. We have a grand total of 117 veteran thank you cards. So we have a good start. Okay, here's our kit class cards. It looks like I lost a gem. I'll have to find it. Here's our sympathy card using Prayers and Promises, which is in the new January to April mini catalog. We have a Valentine's Day card using the Sweet Jar stamp set. This beautiful birthday card. And I like this one using the new Cute as a Bug designer series paper. This is our kids' birthday cards with the little ladybug. And here's our Just a Note card. Turned out great. Here's our thank you card, which you know, because they're your cards, you can make this anything you want it. You could make it a birthday card. And this is the first card I made using the Peaceful Dock stamp set. And even though I didn't get the dies, I fussy cut all this. But it's straight lines, so it's not a hardship at all. So yeah, so here's our cards for kit class. And if you're in our area, we'd love to have you join us. Even though you can't join us because you don't live in our area, you can go and you can get the cards as a class to go. Okay? All right, so let's look at here's our packet. Let me get myself a little bit more situated. And we're going to use, for our base, Misty Moonlight. And it's going to be an up and down card, so that makes it a little bit more of a challenge. Up and down, which makes it 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. We have, white inside piece. We have a layer, which is Poppy Parade. Looks like this is the wrong size. Well, let me fix it real quick. There we go. And that will go, oh, my Poppy Parade is not the right size. Well, I guess I took that for granted. Oh, let's see, right here. Is this better? Yes, this is better. Okay. So, first of all, we're going to take our white piece. And we're going to take, all of our ink is right here. Crumb Cake, Cajun Craze, Pecan Pie, Garden Green, Misty Moonlight, Poppy Parade, and Gray Granite. So we're going to use lots of ink tonight, which is fun. And we're going to use Misty Moonlight and my blending brush. And so I'm going to ink that up. Yep, so it's got some ink on it. And I always like to try it out to see what kind of ink I'm going to get, because I don't want it to be so dark. And we're just going to go and put some Misty Moonlight ink on this. And that's pretty good. Okay, and so we'll put this over to the side. Now, we're going to take, it's a retired folder, but if you happen to have the So Swirly embossing folder, or So Swirly or Soft Waves, which would have been perfect, you can use that instead. I'm going to quick run that through my embossing machine, so just hang tight. I wanted to show you how I sponged the color into the white piece. And so there it is. Okay. And I think it turned out good. Okay. Now, we're going to take... That's the one thing I'm not liking about photopolymer. Everything sticks to it. They can't be just sitting here minding their own business. We have to have everything sticks to it. There. Okay, so here's the bolt. Let me show you. Let me show you with gray granite. I used gray granite. Well, what's that all about? It just doesn't want to cooperate tonight. But I'll just ink it up. And it works out best because it's quite a big stamp. Gotta have a place to put my ink. Okay, we're going to put this right here. Because, like I said, because I didn't purchase the dies, I was trying to be economical, like everybody tries to be. And then we're going to have the hat, which I thought was really cute. And we're going to go and stamp that in Poppy Parade. Thought that would just bring it in and make it pop. So we'll do that. The hat looks pretty nice. And that's the hat for that. We'll put that over here. Cajun Craze. Get all our stamping done. There was a basket with books in it. So there's that. And oh, the paddle. Here's the paddle. We don't need Cajun Craze anymore. We need crumb cake. So, well, we can put one right there. There's that. Can I get this one on there too? There. So there's all of our stamping for the front. Okay, I don't need that. Let me put this aside. Okay, so now, because I don't have the dies, you would fussy cut them out, right? So here's the boat. Here's the two paddles. Here's the, what didn't I cut? Oh, here it is. She's hiding. And here's my hat. Okay, we are going to take our embossed piece, and I like to go and lay everything out. We're going to have a greeting. It's going to go right up here. And our hat with a half a dimensional. These kind of cards, you're kind of telling a story, you know. We'll just put our hat in the boat. Let's do the same thing with our bag with the, whoops. Our bag with the books. There's Denise. Just was showing off just a little bit ago, Denise, all of the beautiful cards that I received from you, which they were perfect. And we're going to put that right there. So there's our boat. Let's go and put our boat in the water. I'm just gluing it down. I'm not using dimensionals on the boat. And as I was late, but I will catch the replay. Well, that's great. Like I said, we now have 117 veteran thank you cards. So we're well on our way. Now, we need words. And I will get my Misty Moonlight back out. I love this font. It's so pretty. Okay. Whoops. Well, I'll put this aside. Now, I'm going to go and glue my white piece down onto my little Misty Moonlight layer. There. And more dimensionals. Yep. Okay. Let's see. Let's put one right in the middle. Okay. Now this is going to go like right there because, yep, works perfect. Oh, only thing missing is lunch. Yeah, that's true. I didn't, well, you could have lunch in your basket here. Or you could just be going out to read Should have some fishing poles or something. Okay, let's put this on the red part. Yes, Denise, you catch the replay. Your cards turned out wonderfully. And then I showed off Andy's cards, which it just, you know, she's so busy, but she thought this was a worthwhile thing to get involved with last year. I like that we put it on our Poppy Parade. Boy, this looks a lot, almost too big. I better measure it. No, it's the right size. I'm going to take a smidgen off. There. That looks better. Okay, let us put this on the front. Okay. And let's see, what do I got a full week this week. Today, Jim and I went to Marshfield to get supplies. Tomorrow is technique class. Thursday is I'm going out for lunch with ladies that I used to work with, so that's always fun. We get together about once a month. Okay, now I need another dimensional. I'm only putting a dimensional on the paddle part. And that, I believe, that will fit like that. Yep. I put a little bit of glue. So that's going to go there. Let's take our other paddle and one more half dimensional, and we'll put that there. And a little bit of glue. Jim's making supper right now. Actually, he's just warming it up. We're having soup tonight. Even though it's quite mild out, soup's going to taste good. So windy. Can't believe how windy it is tonight. There. That's the front of our card. Now let's do that inside. And that's, of course, way too big. I really wasn't paying attention. But I have my handy-dandy trimmer right here. We're going to get the Misty Moonlight out. And we're going to stamp Sending Happiness. Okay, so the front is going to say time to relax, right? Sending Happiness. Yep. And I found this on I save a lot of my stamp sets. I don't always get rid of everything. And this is from the Many Mates, Sending Happiness on your retirement. Isn't that cool? That's what I'm thinking. And where's my Poppy Parade? Get that out one more time. And my hat. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Denise, because they turned out wonderful. They were great. There, we'll put a hat there. I liked this card because sometimes we don't get to stamp very much. we're so busy with different papers and die cuts that we don't. From the prairie grass, I pulled this out. For the inside. Okay, not done. Almost, not quite. Let's see. I hope I've got more veteran cards cut out here. I hope to be able to get back to them after class tomorrow night. It's supposed to be cold out this weekend, so be a perfect time. Whoopsie. There, perfect time. Okay, now get that misty moonlight. Two things I forgot to do. We have water waves, so we're gonna put some waves. Like so. Oh, yeah, that turned out good. Okay, just a second. And then I thought about using these iridescent dots, because when I go fishing, a lot of times the water looks like it's got diamonds in it. And I thought, well, this would be just perfect. Add a couple, 3 of them. There. That's our card. There, that's how it turned out. I think it turned out great. I love it. Be a perfect retirement card. Time to relax, sending happiness on your retirement. And you could go and have this be the greeting too and make it a birthday card. It would be great for a masculine birthday card. So this card has a lot of possibilities. Let me see, where's my, it's got to be over here. What else we got? You make life lovely. That would be just a thinking of you card. And so, but when I saw this, time to relax, I thought, oh my gosh, this would work perfect. And if you notice, this is a totally different card from the one I made for kit class. So, actually I like this one better. But you know how it is. This was the first time I used the stamp set, and that's what I ended up with. But yeah, so here we go. Kay Wire, there she is. The game, okay. This was, I just told it at the very beginning. Andy's team, they won their basketball game. They won it 54-9. And Andy is quite petite. She's only 5 foot, maybe 5'1". She's pretty short. Although both of them are almost looking me in the eye when they stand next to me, and they think that's quite funny. But she never usually, she'd get the ball before, and she would go and pass it off to somebody else, always. And you know, it's like, God. But last night, she got the ball like 4 times, and she tried to make a basket 4 times, which was great. But on the 4th time, it worked. And she made a basket. And it was so funny because her little cheering section, me and Jim, her brother, her mom and dad, we just went, all right, and cheered for her. Afterwards, I asked her, I says, did you hear us? Oh, yeah, Grandma. But, yeah, we were so proud of her. So, yeah. But here's the card. I hope you like it. This is a great stamp set. Let me look for sure. It's an online exclusive. There's matching dies that will cut the boat out and the oars and all this other fun stuff. But I decided not to go that route. And it's just a nice set to have. So I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, thank you for understanding why I couldn't be here last night. And I'll see you all next week. And have a great rest of the week, everybody. Take care.